Hello and welcome to another Temu unbagging unboxing session. It's not normally my kind of thing, but for some reason the last one I did seemed to go down quite well and I gained some subscribers, which is unusual for me. So what I'm going to do is show you what I bought and how much it cost and tell you what I think of it. Plus the stuff from last week or a few days back where I'm going to tell you exactly what I think of them as well, I'm afraid. So first of all, in this small package, I bought some plastic welding rods, and here they are. Now, they were about £3, and they are a bit smaller than what I was expecting. But if I can do the job with them and mend a plastic bumper, I'll be happy. So, size apart, not really too worried. Dropping stuff on the floor and dropping stuff on the floor. Next, we have some tape, tent mending tape, and I thought this could come in handy for where I need to make something a bit more waterproof outside. And I hope it's good because it's not very big. Seems to be the issue. Then we have a laser pointing pen, which I hope it's good because it's got no battery in it, and I need to find some batteries. But you know, batteries are never included, are they? Unless they're rechargeable, and for some reason I presume that's what it would have. The last item that we have in here is actually a disappointment. Just over my lock-up door over there, I have a big neodymium magnet, and it's amazing. It's such a strong magnet. And then I found that they were selling them on Temu, and I thought, fantastic. Some of those dotted around on the metal shelving. I could hang tools off them. Not that I haven't got enough shelves, but it just seemed like a good idea. So for £3 and 43 pence, I received this. And it's Diddy. Look at the size of that. That is 10 magnets. They are quite strong, but I mean, really, that is exceedingly small, and it's my own fault because, well, I mean, it tells you the size of these magnets on the advert, but the picture you get is more like than that, you see. And so actually I'm not even sure what I can do with them. And now I've just put it all back in the bag because, well, actually none of this stuff is of any use to me today. So it's going to go over there with another bag of Temu stuff that I haven't managed to get round to making any use of. But the last package I bought, I did think was going to be very, very useful indeed, and that is this, which is a gimbal, and this wireless microphone. The gimbal was relatively cheap, about £24 I think it was, but it is rather plasticky, and I'm not going to complain about it particularly because it's cheap, and cheap things, I mean, ideally what you'd want would be this, all made out of aluminium, so you know it's not going to break and leave your phone smashed on the floor. But that's not my main issue with this. My main issue is actually the battery life. I charged it up, I used it for half an hour, and the battery was flat again. However, nothing compares to the disappointment of this wireless microphone. Now the wireless microphone is something very, very useful for me, and but my previous one went a bit wrong, so I got straight on and bought another one. I thought, fantastic, you know, it comes in its own little charging case there, so you've got two microphones and then the receiver there that plugs straight into your phone. How perfect is that? It's brilliant, it really is, except it's not any good. For some reason, the microphone on the Samsung S23 Ultra and the previous one, the S20, isn't really that good. So if you plug in some earphones, like so, you get a much clearer sound out of something that was designed to go in your ear hole. And obviously, I first really thought this one day whilst I was driving my old Transit, and the sound was too awful. It was horrendous, and this worked. So the natural progression to that would be, obviously, to buy a wireless microphone. Yeah, and this one promises to be a professional sound quality. Right. And here it is plugged in. Now what's happened here is this microphone has a kind of noise gate on it. So the kind of background noise frequencies are filtered out. And that means that your voice ends up with this kind of swirly sound to it, which means that it's just not really that good. The only way around this would be then to add background noise so it's not as obvious. But the trouble is, the idea of having something like this is for when you're in background noise environments. But because it takes even more of that noise away, like yesterday I was driving the car up the road and you couldn't even hear the car. And it's not even a quiet car. But my voice was even worse than normal. You could barely hear what anything I was saying. Well, you could, but it just, you know, one of those conversations that you may have with someone on the telephone and there's an awful, dreadful signal. It's like that, isn't it? Just put the kettle on because I need another cup of tea. Yeah, I know, I've just had one. And honestly, there's no great gap between my previous cup of tea and the one I'm about to make. In fact, the gap is non-existent. But can you hear the kettle? Because you should be able to do. So what I'm about to do now is show you a direct comparison between the two things. I'm now reboiling the kettle, and at the moment you cannot hear it. In actual fact, I can't hear it too well either. But that's because I've only just started it. But I bet as soon as I unplug this microphone, you will be able to hear it. Yeah, can you hear that? Now, is that sound too much? Does it sound too loud? Oh, what about the microwave? Gosh. Now, up here, I have a microwave, and it is a particularly noisy microwave. So, as another demonstration, I'm going to put something in the microwave with the microphone switched on, and then unplug it so you can really hear how much noise is being taken away. So, a biscuit. Put a biscuit in the microwave. Everybody likes a biscuit in the microwave, don't they? Oh, gosh. Someone's turned up with a monster truck outside. Let's get back to the microwave because I got distracted there by doing a car review. There's a biscuit inside the microwave. I'm going to switch it on now. Can you hear it? No doubt you can't. But if I unplug the microphone, if I unplug it like this, I bet you can now. So, overall, a bit disappointed. But at least I can use the microphone from this distance. And the gimbal, well, the battery may be useless, but it does have a wireless remote control. Look at that, see? Brilliant. That's going to come in handy more than the gimbal itself. Thing is, I wonder what distance this can actually do this at. If it can do it from 40 or 50 feet away, that'll be more than enough. Can do it from there. Wow. I'm impressed. Wow. That's brilliant. I'm really surprised by that and impressed. So, Temu were back in my good books for this one thing. It's recording again.
Hello, and welcome to the Gimbal Rally.